Welcome to Don't Do Disney
Without Us.
My name is Daniel.
And my name is Zach.
And welcome back to our show. Episode 12. It's a show where we like to talk about all things Disney, be that the theme parks, the movies,
not the sports,
streaming services, like Hulu and Disney Plus, something else. I'm sure they do something else. Disney does a lot of things.
Disney does do a lot of things.
ABC. I don't know. We don't talk about television that much.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't talk about television much. Do people watch television still? I feel like we haven't had cable for so long.
I mean, you watch lots of Netflix.
Yeah.
That's television now. Streaming services are television.
No, I'm just saying, but ABC is a television network.
Oh.
I don't know that we actually...
I don't know that we watch any ABC shows.
I can't think of one that we do watch. Huh. Anyway, so sports and ABC. We don't talk about sports and we don't talk about ABC.
We don't talk about ABC. No.
We're in one of those times right now where there's not really a big pressing story going on at Walt Disney World or at Disneyland or any of those there's a lot of things happening, but they're things that we've already talked about.
Or they're things that are in progress, or they're things that are happening in the future.
Right. So I think what we are going to talk about today is Disney water parks, because we
just went to one.
And we thought to ourselves, it's Mother's Day. It's Sunday. It's Mother's Day.
Who takes their mother to a Disney water park for Mother's Day?
Certainly it will not be crowded because people are going to be taking their mothers out to eat.
Mistakes were made, because when we pulled into the parking lot at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon, we were directed to cast parking.
Yeah, so the main parking lot was full, the overflow parking lot was full, and they had us parking in cast member parking, which is a field off to the side. So we did not walk in with high hopes. We were thinking,
waits are going to be terrible.
Yeah, this is going to be so crowded. You're not going to be able to do anything. It's going to be.
We're just going to walk in and then turn around and walk right back out.
And I think I even said, if I don't get a locker, if I can't get a locker, then we're done. We're not even going to do it, because we take our clothes and put them in a locker. Anyway, no, we got there. It was crowded, but I don't think we waited more than 10 minutes for any ride.
No.
And the wave pool was a bit crowded, but it wasn't on top of each other. I didn't get clobbered by someone getting pushed into me by a big wave.
Right. It wasn't Magic Kingdom on Christmas or New Year's level of crowds.
Yeah. So it was still, and at one point we were sitting in the shade enjoying beverages, and there were tables around us that were completely empty, in the shade. So it was, anyway. So let's talk about Disney's water parks. Right now, there are two water parks at Disney. There's Blizzard Beach and there's Typhoon Lagoon. The only one that is open right now is Typhoon Lagoon, because Blizzard Beach is going through refurb.
Both of them are normally open during the summer, and then one of them will close during the fall and winter, and they'll alternate being closed for refurbishment.
Yeah, the rule is, other than with COVID, the rule is there is always one water park open at Disney.
Right. So sometimes there are both, but most of the time it's one.
I would say the majority of the time it is both. Like right now is an exception, because we're just coming off of COVID and we've got restaffing issues and stuff like that. But I was like, during the normal course of our lives prior to March of 2020, both water parks were usually open all summer long. Certainly any of the warm months, both water parks were open. You have your choice between the two. I tend to like Typhoon Lagoon over Blizzard Beach because both water parks feature a very large pool.
A wave pool.
Right. And the one at Blizzard Beach just does waves. And it does them constantly. So there's just constant waves going in the wave pool at Blizzard Beach. And you're allowed to take inner tubes into the wave pool. So there are people on the inner tubes in the wave pool. Inner tubes get thrown around by the waves. They hit you in the head. It feels more crowded than it is, because an inner tube takes up more space visually than a person bobbing in the water. Whereas Typhoon Lagoon's wave pool alternates between smaller waves and then 6-foot tall surfing
waves that throw you back. And
yeah. And those happen every 90 seconds during their surfing period. So it's really, really fun to go out and you've got nice calm water and then suddenly here comes a 6-foot wave and you swim up to it and you surf on it. You try to body surf. No one is successful at that. No one is successful at body surfing. But it's fun. So that is why I tend to like Typhoon Lagoon more than Blizzard Beach, because I do love those big wave pools.
We did, however, when Typhoon Lagoon had not yet opened, because it was one of the last things on property to reopen.
Yes.
After the pandemic closures, we gained a new appreciation for Blizzard Beach.
We did, as long as you avoid.
I almost called it Lizard Beach.
Yeah, as long as you avoid the wave pool, the main pool at Blizzard Beach. Yeah, it has fun. Benefits of Blizzard Beach, which we're not talking about Blizzard Beach today, but one of the benefits of Blizzard Beach is to get to the top of the mountain where all the hills are, because it is themed after a ski resort. There is a gondola, like ski gondolas, like ski benches. Yeah.
At
Typhoon Lagoon, you got to walk.
Yeah, you're going to get your steps in and you're going to get your exercise because you're going to be lugging those rafts.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I'm sure you've seen a water park advertised at your local Six Flags, wherever you may be, and you're probably asking yourself, why? Why would I want to give up one of my valuable vacation days at Walt Disney World in order to go to a water park? And that is a very valid question. But you have to understand that this is Disney. These are not your Six Flags water parks. These are heavily themed. They are theme parks in and of themselves. They have tons of things going on. They're huge. They're very, very, like I said, they're very heavily themed. They have their own in-park IP.
Yes, there is a gator, which I just learned is Laguna Gator, who's the mascot of Typhoon Lagoon. Yeah. Although, couldn't you call Captain
Merriweather from the SEA?
No. Captain Mary, whatever her name is, from Misadventure Falls. The captain of the ship that was on the...
Oh, on the Miss Tilly?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. There's a lot of lore there, too. You have to read about the lore of Typhoon Lagoon, which I'm not.
It starts right as soon as you're driving into the parking lot.
Yeah. The gist of Typhoon Lagoon is that a typhoon came through this tropical island, or this tropical bay, and ruined a bunch of things. And so water was running it, so the ship got marooned up on top of the mountain, and the buildings got blown sideways. And so things like the ticket booth outside is the top part of a ship. So you see things in various stages of damage. And when I say damage, I mean Disney damage. They're obviously sound. They're not going to fall over.
Right. The steps leading up to the water coaster have portions of the framing missing, but it's not, it's
right. It's not like River
cosmetic.
It's not like River Country where those things actually happen. But no, this is, as far as we know, a safe modern water park. I don't know why am I holding scissors?
Why are you holding scissors?
Because they're on the table. Anyway, so have I made my point about this is why you would want to go to Typhoon Lagoon on your vacation, because it's a theme park. It really is a theme park.
And it's also, if, for example, you're staying at a Disney resort, but the pool's really crowded, you could go to the water park, where you can also cool off and get in the water and stay in some shade and not be around hundreds of thousands of people.
Or even if you are around hundreds of thousands of people, it won't feel like it.
Right.
Yeah. And it is really, I mean, it is an extra ticket. So if you are here on your Disney vacation, I think the water park is $59 a day. $69 a day. But I think there are add-ons you can do to your Disney tickets for that will lower the cost of that. If you are an annual pass holder, you can do a $99 add-on that will give you access to both water parks.
Mini golf, Wide World of Sports, if you want to go there for some reason.
Yeah, and there's no blackout days for the water park. So as long as you go there on a day that they're operating, which is one of the water parks is open all year long, you'll be able to go in. So no blackout dates, which is nice. And the water is heated in the winter. I did read that and saw that. We haven't experienced that yet.
No, I don't. Now I kind of want to go.
It says right here, water is heated in the winter. See right there. Anyway, Typhoon Lagoon, let's tell you just a little bit about it without like boring you to death. I know, too late, right? Typhoon Lagoon is broken into several different areas. There's Mount Mayday, which is the mountain, which is where all of your slides are going to be. There's a couple of storm slides, these are like body slides that you can go down. There is a speed slide called Humunga Cowabunga where you can reach speeds of 39 miles an hour. Those are those really stark racing kind of slides.
I will never do those because I would not like to get, rug burn on my butt.
Right. There are 2 tube slides where you carry tubes up to the top of the mountain and then you sit on the tube and go down through them. So they're a wider, gentler type of slide. And then there's a family one. There's a family slide there, a tube slide called Mayday Falls. You have to have 4 people for that. So if you show up with a group less than 4 people, they will seat you with other people.
Gangplank Falls.
I'm sorry, Gangplank Falls. And then there's a grotto. There's like a cave that the lazy river goes through, but you can also walk. That's underneath the mountain. Anyway, those are where all your slides are going to be found, is over at Mount Mayday. There is another area of Typhoon Lagoon, which was not original to the park. It got added on later, which is called Hideaway Bay. That is where they have their water coaster. And if you've never seen a water coaster before, it's a slide that you sit on a tube, but not only does it go down, at certain points, water jets push you back up, and you go up over hills. So it's like a roller coaster, but on water.
And true to form, when we rode it yesterday, I screamed.
I screamed a lot. And then there's a new tube ride over there called Misadventure Falls, which is a large tube that will seat up to 6, I think, but it doesn't have to be 4.
Right.
So you can go as a group of 2 there.
And when you do, someone always goes backwards, and by someone, I mean him.
Yeah, I always go backwards on that. No matter what I do, I can't go forward on that one. I think it's because I weigh more than you, and so gravity is working against me there. And then finally, there's the Typhoon Lagoon itself. That is the 2.5-acre, 3 million gallon wave pool that is at the very entrance to when you get to the lagoon and you crest the hill. And you see it out before you. The beautiful blue water with the 6-foot waves and that unmistakable sound that the water machine makes, creating the waves, which is a every 90 seconds. Love it. Anyway, Typhoon Lagoon is really, really, we had a lot of fun there yesterday. Even though it was super crowded, it didn't feel like that. We were able to do everything we wanted to do. And at one point, as we were enjoying our adult beverages in the shade, I commented, I like this better than Epcot. Like this, to me, the water parks are above Epcot because Epcot doesn't have seating or shade for that matter.
Right now.
Where in Epcot could you just sit and have a cocktail and just people watch and just sitting in the shade with the breeze going and...
Well, you just had to throw shade in there because...
You
There's
can't.
none of it at Epcot.
Well, not only that, but there's no general bar at Epcot that you could just sit out in front of. There's no seating at Epcot. There's very little seating at Epcot. But so those might be reasons that you might want to go to a water park on your next Disney trip instead of going to one of the parks because it's fun. And let's face it, Florida is hot. Florida is very, very hot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's such a noticeable difference when you are wet. Because then that wind is no longer a hot and humid, sticky wind. It's, evaporating the water off of you, and it feels great. So it's like Florida in the water is a billion times better than Florida in the sun. So that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so that was it. That was Typhoon Lagoon. We kind of muddled our way through that, I think. This is not bad for a last-minute thing here. Just a little behind the scenes stuff. We're trying to get this recorded and out before we leave to go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So we're on a clock here. All right, let's move over to the news of the week. What is happening this week at Disney?
It was announced that Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is going to use a virtual queue when it opens on May 27th and will be available for purchase as an individual Lightning Lane selection. This should surprise absolutely no one because this is how every single ride that has opened within the last several years has operated.
Yeah. Rise of the Resistance, Ratatouille. This is what happens, right? They're going to be a period for probably 6 months or more where they do this virtual queue. And then once they get a handle on the crowds, they'll drop it and they'll go back to standby lines. So this is, if past is prologue, this isn't a permanent thing. It's just an opening year kind of a thing. In honor of Star Wars Day, a new trailer was released for Obi-Wan Kenobi, which begins streaming on May 27th on Disney+.
Now, I know you've watched The Mandalorian.
I have.
Even though we're not big, huge Star Wars fans.
This is the way.
Are you going to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I will probably watch it. I haven't watched the Boba Fett one. I never understood the fetishization of Boba Fett. Like, what, he was a failed bounty hunter in the first one. Why is everyone so excited about Boba Fett? But I didn't watch that. All the other Star Wars things I've watched, but not like First Day and not, especially if it's given to us week by week, I'll wait and then binge it, probably, because I like to binge. So, did you?
No. Also, in honor of Star Wars Day, 4 new photo ops have been released at Galaxy's Edge. I have a note on here that this is Hollywood Studios only. Mm-hmm. I'm unsure if that's true, but for right now, there's a holopuck, a training droid, a replica of Mace Windu's purple lightsaber, which is available after sunset and located across from Oga's Cantina. I would actually be interested in that one.
Wow.
And there's also Boba Fett's ship.
You're a big Samuel Jackson fan?
No, I like the purple. I like purple. Purple's one of my purple's of a fun color.
How long are those going on?
I don't know. I think they're semi-permanent.
Okay.
Disney's not very good about telling you necessarily when things are always going to be limited time experiences. So
yeah. A MagicBand Plus will launch this summer, and while the Hey Disney digital assistant powered by Alexa will debut later this year. That's a hard sentence to read. Walt Disney World hotel guests and annual pass holders will have the option to purchase at a discounted pre-arrival price. I'm assuming we're talking about MagicBand Plus, not the Alexa piece. The MagicBand Plus will arrive at Disneyland later this year. Some features will vary between Walt Disney World and Disneyland. However, the MagicBand Plus will bring the 50th anniversary sculptures to life and interact with them on the Disney Fab 50 quest. That's probably something on the app, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You can also dive deeper into the experience using the Play Disney Parks mobile app to keep track of which sculptures you found. Like, are they hidden?
No,
they're not really hidden.
Right there.
Find them all.
Are they like Pokemon now?
Yeah. There's other things. I feel like this is just a press release, though. You can join the Star Wars Bounty Hunters experience, where you'll use your band to find numerous virtual bounties hidden throughout Black Spire Outpost. Yeah. And the MagicBand Plus, if you've not seen them before, are really big and gaudy and ugly, and they light up and buzz, and there's like everything I don't want in a MagicBand. So,
and the Hey Disney is the Amazon digital assistant, because you said her name twice now and probably set off everyone's everyone's Alexa. Madam A.
Yeah.
It's essentially her with Disney features added, Disney character voices, etc. You can ask her questions about the parks, and supposedly she's going to be available for purchase at home using that skills feature, so you can bring that home as well.
Nice.
I have zero interest in it.
All right. What's next?
Tale of the Lion King opens at Disneyland's Fantasyland Theater on May 28th.
Ooh.
This is an original story theater adaptation of Disney's The Lion King, which will feature new choreography set to exciting song, dance, and percussion.
That sounds a lot like Festival of the Lion King.
It's replacing Mickey and the Magical Map.
Now, Mickey and the Magical Map was a cool show. Did you not think that one was cool? Remember Mickey popped up out of the stage and
I mean, we saw it 5 years ago, and I don't really remember it.
It was cool. But yeah, I guess Lion King is all right. I mean, Festival of Lion King is one of my favorite shows.
And it's coming back in full force this summer.
I know. I can't wait. Build-A-Bear and Disney are collaborating with the Walt Disney World 50th Anniversary Celebration Gift Bundle. That's a mouthful. Which includes a Mickey Mouse plush, Mickey's I'm Going to Walt Disney World outfit, a first visit button, a 5-in-1 sound chip, a 5-in-1 sound chip, and a commemorative toy bear carrier. It's billed as the ultimate reveal announcement for a Disney trip. Oh, so guess what, kids?
We're going to Disney World.
Then you give them the bear basket.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but...
We don't have kids. What are we going to tell our cat? Actually, we are taking our cat to Fort Wilderness this week. So we haven't told her yet. So should we get a basket of treats?
She will sniff it and wonder if there's food and not care.
I mean, some of her favorite treats are in the rig. So
that's fair.
She'll be happy that she's there. Okay, and finally,
new concept art was released showing the Epcot overhaul, specifically the Central Plaza, which has had some modifications given that the 3-tier festival structure is now no longer a thing. It includes gardens with a central planter based on the 5-ring Epcot logo. Mm-hmm. It's going to have those illuminated pathways that Epcot previously had.
Yes, the fiber optics.
Yes. The gardens will change with the seasons and the festivals, and the most important part, it will include ample seating and shade.
I will believe it when I see it. There's no shade at Epcot.
If you believe the concept art, which, as we all know, concept art does not always equal reality.
Yes.
I am hopeful on this one.
Okay.
There will also be the Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza, which is where your stage for the festival shows will be. It is a multi-use facility and outdoor event space used for festivals, musical performances, exhibitions, galleries, and it even has a test kitchen for demonstrations.
Mm-hmm. Now, I feel like this is kind of the same purpose that the multi-tiered building was going to serve, right?
Yeah, it was going to be the festival center.
And I wonder, I mean, if they're building a multi-use building for this, I don't know that building a new building and a performance hall is any more expensive than building the tall structure. I'm wondering if it was just a land use thing. In Florida, it is not uncommon to do what are the stability studies or whatever and find out that, this area of land that you're going to build on will not support a 3-story building because it's the limestone base of it. It would not support it. It would encourage sinkholes or whatever. So there are a lot of reasons in Florida that you can't build tall buildings in certain places. And I'm just wondering if maybe that, there was always that rumor that Horizons had to be torn down because of sinkholes.
Because it was literally sinking into the earth?
Yeah. In the back corner. It was eroding some of the foundation in the back corner of it. And so I'm wondering, I mean, if they're going to be built, they've already torn those buildings down that were there.
That was the question that I saw bandied about was why tear the buildings down instead of just repurposing them like you did with the other side?
Right. Probably because they wanted to build the new stuff and then maybe something
realized
happened.
they couldn't and then, well, we're going to have to rebuild this.
I'm just saying that is an alternate theory that I would like to propose.
I would also like to point out
yes,
that for everybody who is obsessed with the sightlines in Epcot, that 3-story festival center would have blocked your view from the plaza.
Oh my God.
Through to World Showcase Lagoon.
You would not have been able to see it. Oh my God. Heaven forbid. I think it looks lovely. The new concept art.
Yes, the concept art is very pretty. Yep. And I mean,
anything that brings shade and seating to Epcot, I am all for it as I get older. Also, as I wrestle with COVID hair, which is a thing, look it up, I'm now in a situation where I have to put like sunscreen on my head or wear hats because of, sun. And so, yeah, it's Disney. Yeah, they need shade. Epcot needs shade badly.
They really do. They really, really, really do.
All right. And those are all the new things that are happening at Walt Disney. Well, not just Walt Disney World, but in the Disneyverse this coming week. If we missed something, please let us know below in the comments.
Yes, if there's ever a story or something that you want to hear us talk about, let us know via email, via the Aristocrats social media platforms.
Anything. Or leave a comment on the YouTube video if you happen to be watching the video version of this podcast there. But now let's close it out with our heroes and villains of the week. This is an even number episode, so we're going to start with our heroes of the week. My hero of the week
is
the Disney water parks. And I know we talked about them at the top of the show, but I just can't say enough things about how I'm probably not putting this into words correctly, but there is such a quality of life difference in Florida when you dip into a pool or you dip into a water and then you get out and then it's lovely, right? It's like you're hot, you're sweaty, you're miserable, and then you jump into a pool and then, everything's lovely and refreshing. And it makes Florida so much better. Water makes everything better in Florida, except for thunderstorms. But, you could argue that they make things better too. But anyway, my hero of the week is the Disney water parks. I found out through some of my little research here that Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon are the number 2 and number 3 most visited water parks in the world.
What's number 1?
There's a water park in China whose name I cannot pronounce, but it is the most visited water park in the world, and it's always crowded. It's not spread out like the Disney park, so it's just constantly crowded there. So it's crazy.
Today I learned.
And who was your hero of the week? It's blank on the sheet.
My hero of the week are the parking attendants at Epcot, because when I went to Epcot on Saturday, guess what I didn't have to do? Park at the end of a row.
It's just me. When they see me show up.
Or more specifically, I didn't have to park at the wrong end of the row. When I was next to the tram lane as opposed to all the way down from the tram lane.
No, if I pull into Epcot, if they see me in that vehicle, they are going to they're going to open up a new row and send me all the way down to the end so that I have to walk all the way back.
He's really not kidding, though. It happens. I think there's been maybe once when we've taken your truck and we've gotten like a middle of the row spot.
Yeah, it's just bad luck.
Speaking of parking trams, I just thought of this. Trams are coming back to Animal Kingdom on May 27th. No dates have been announced for the studios or Epcot.
Well, there you go. My villain of the week is Bob Chapek. Not for the reason you might think. Bob Chapek committed one of the faux pas that I hate, and that is when someone confuses the slogan for Walt Disney World with the slogan for Disneyland. Bob Chapek, in a speech that he gave, a commencement speech that he gave to his school, his
alma mater?
His alma mater. He talked about Walt Disney World and called it the happiest place on earth.
That is not true.
That is Disneyland's slogan. Walt Disney World is the most magical place on earth. Please get it correct. The only thing that you could do that would annoy me more than that would be to, call it Cinderella's Castle. So.
And finally, my villain is the lack of shade in the outdoor Guardians queue. I've seen lots of lots of pictures from people who have been there for their annual pass previews, and the lines are long. Apparently, the indoor queue only accommodates about 30 minutes worth of queue, so if you're outside of that, you get to stand outside in the hot Florida sun, and there's no shade.
Wow.
You would have thought they would have learned from Toy Story Land, but they didn't.
Wow. We need to make sure we take parasols.
Yes, parasols, hats, what have you, because I would imagine the queues are going to be long for a while. All
right. Well, I have already mentioned that there is the video version of this podcast is on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WDW Aristocrats. Boy, that just rolls off the tongue. But if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, hey, there's an audio-only version of this podcast. You can find it anywhere that fine podcasts are served, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you want. Just look up Don't Do Disney without us, or just Don't Do Disney, and you'll find us. And you can listen to us in your car or while you're out walking or someplace that doesn't require you to give us your undivided attention by looking at us talking into
And if you like what you hear, and only if you like what you hear, leave us a rating on those various platforms. Leave us a comment on the YouTube video. Give us a like. All those things help us and our podcast and our channel grow, and we want to help us reach more people.
There you go. All right. We are heading to Fort Wilderness this week for Zach's birthday, so we're going to be there for 3 days, midweek, so it'll be fun. So we'll probably have some videos up on our channel about that. I do know that we just did a Chinese mystery pin unboxing, Chinese New Year mystery pin unboxing. Yes. That video will be out later this week on our YouTube channel. So yeah, check us out anywhere. Like our email address is don'tdodisney@gmail.com. And all that we would ask is that you please don't do Disney
without us. There, that was more of a declarative statement as opposed to a question.